Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, where the green screen lighting always sucks, but the forehead makes up for it. Anyway, here we are with another meta-analysis, and today we've got, over the weekend of May 8th and 9th, which was yesterday and the day before, we have qualifier number 2 of the VR Circuit Series, the Spring Series. 113 players here, which is pretty cool. Series 9, which is cool. 7 Swiss rounds, and then single elimination top cut. So, pretty cool stuff. We've got a top 26 and, a stats usage breakdown. So, look forward to that. Anyway, let's get into it. So, first off, we have Kyle Geffner winning the entire series, of today, the qualifier number 2. Which is cool. We got a Grimmsnarl, a Regirock, Zapdos, Venusaur, Torkoal, and P2, which is something I like to see. I like to see all those Pokemon. Venusaur, Torkoal, this is making up for last time, last week's qualifier. We didn't even see Torkoal Venu. I think there was maybe one. There was none. It was just not there. Today, we have it winning the event. Not really surprising, as it is one of the best things in Pokemon, honestly, in VGC, as of recently at least, and yeah, it's pretty good. So let's look at it. So we got Cobra Berry Venusaur, which is pretty cool. Sleep Powder instead of Protect, which is pretty normal. Safety Goggles Zapdos, which is cool. Regirock at Weakness Policy, doing Regirock things. Curse Regirock is always cool to see. Let's go ahead and move this up some so we can see everything. Grimmsnarls with the fake tears for the Zapdos, but it's also got the Reflect and Light Screen Spirit Break for, normal Grimmsnarl things like Clay, of course. And, yeah, P2, of course. He's just chilling. It's natural for, a Regirock team to have some kind of, Trick Room user, and P2 is a natural pair for that, which is pretty cool. In second place, we have our boy Edu, Eduardo Cuno, great player. Getting second place, unfortunate, but I'm sure it was a really amazing finals. I didn't watch it, but I don't even know if it was streamed. Either way, go check out Edu, great player. Anyway, let's look at his team. Spectrier, Safety Goggles, pretty normal stuff there. Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, Taunt, Shadow Ball, pretty good supportive set all in all. But we do see the Rillaboom with the Miracle Seed and Protect, of course, something that we've seen a lot of players moving more towards instead of the AV. I'd say it's about 50-50, maybe a little bit more in favor of the AV in terms of usage alone. But the Miracle Seed with the Protect is really, really solid as well. We do see the Coalossal G-Max at Weakness Policy, obviously, with the pretty standard set. And the Urshifu Rapid Strike with the Aqua Jet, getting our, Coalossal real big and real strong here. We do see the Grimmsnarl and Celesteela combo that he played last week. So, bringing that back to the table. Celesteela has been incredible this series thus far. Last week it's been insane, getting second place this week. Doing the most, honestly. Grimmsnarl with the Trick, the Taunt, and the fake tears for Celesteela, and Spirit Break, of course, for a little bit of damage, and a little bit of damage reduction with lowering special attack, which works pretty good. We also have the Lagging Tail Trick combo that we saw last week as well. Pretty cool stuff. Celesteela at AV, pretty cool. 4 attacks, of course, because of AV, but leaning away from the Life Orb. Life Orb's not even anywhere else on the team. Just going for Life Orb, or going for the Assault Vest instead. Something that we do see kind of frequently now on Celesteelas. We were talking about that last week. A lot of them tending to move more towards the Assault Vest, which is a little different, but cool to see nonetheless. Anyway, that was second place, Eduardo Cuno. In third place, we got Terran Birdie. A lot of names that we see very, very frequently on here, as far as the, Victory Road circuits. But yeah, we got a pretty cool team here as well. We got the Togekiss. Let's see if that's Toga Crit. Yeah, it is Crit Kiss. So we do see the Scopeland Super Luck. Togekiss is a Pokemon we didn't see for a while. It exploded the early game of VGC 2020 with in Sword and Shield. Absolutely dominated the scene, and then kind of fell off when we started getting legendaries and stuff. Series 6 it really exploded still, or Series 5 it's exploded. Series 6 was banned, and yeah, pretty good stuff. We see Lando, White Herb Lando, which is interesting. Doesn't want to get as intimidated. That's fine. It's understandable. We got Swords Dance, doesn't want to get intimidated, wants to do a lot of damage. Makes a lot of sense. We see two really main Dynamaxers here in the Togekiss and the Lando, but we also have, you know, Regirock that can, because it is Life Orb, so not a bad, you know, decision to have to make on the fly. We see Mental Herb, Gothitelle with the Fake Out, and no Trick Room, actually, which is really interesting. So we see just the Hypnosis, which is pretty wild, right? Pretty wild, getting them 60%. Hey, you do you. If you're getting them and it's working, which it obviously is, getting 3rd place, pretty crazy. 6-1 in Swiss, actually pretty crazy there. We do have 7-0 in 5th place. We'll talk about that here more in a moment. And then rounding off our top 4, we have Kevin Salvetto, Lobo Peep with the another Sun team, which is pretty cool. We got the full Sun core, Torkoal Venusaur and Charizard. We've got the Grimmsnarl as well. One's to assume that's probably Light Clay. With the Fake Tears as well for the Charizard. Makes a lot of sense. We got the Spirit Break, the Light Screen Reflect, Light Clay, Fake Tears. Pretty standard stuff for Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl, once again, not really showing, or very showing up everywhere. You know, Grimmsnarl is one of the most used Pokemon in VGC 2021. You know, between series to series, in Series 8, last format, it was everywhere. Series 9 is everywhere. Expect it. It's a really strong prankster setup with Light Screen and Reflect, Fake Tears. You have Taunt, Spirit Break, Thunder Wave. An incredible move pool on a prankster Pokemon. It was kind of slept on at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of 2020, but not anymore. No longer will it be slept on. We've got Charizard, of course, with the Scorching Sands as the tech move. You know, obviously you have Air Slash and Blast Burn. Blast Burn could be Flamethrower or Heat Wave, probably Heat Wave. But a lot of players going for Blast Burn. I like Blast Burn personally. Life Orb, Dynamax, Blast Burn just does so much damage under Solar Power. It's incredible. We do see Weakness Policy Venusaur G-Max, which is really interesting. That Venusaur V-Max at Weakness Policy is really interesting. Something we see kind of frequently now. You know, definitely got popularized a little bit more last format, and now kind of getting pushed back into the limelight, which is cool. We do see the Yawn Citrus Berry. No body press, actually, going for the Heat Wave and Eruption. Yawn, Protect, no body press, which is interesting. I'd love to see the spread. I bet it's, you know, a little more calculated than just 252 into defense and HP, but maybe not. Who knows? We do see the Sleep Powder instead of Protect here as well. That definitely is the standard for the Venusaur VMAX. Yeah, AV Landorus-T, Trick Room, Eerie Impulse on the P2. Pretty standard stuff other than those, but we do see the, you know, the VMAX weakness policy, which is something that's pretty interesting. And a lot of players are moving a little bit more towards. I still like Life Orb probably the most, and then, you know, weakness policy. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that rounds off our top 4. Congrats to all these players. You know, they got the most. They got the cash prizes as well. So yeah, and a lot of points. Getting to that qualifier, I'm sure most of these players are getting close to the qualifications, if not already qualified. Anyway, in 5th, we have Lee Jongso, which actually went 7-0 in Swiss. Is that the only player to go 7-0? It is. Wow. Top seed, getting 5th place. Unfortunately, couldn't make the top 4, but very slightly. Still amazing stuff to the player. We do see Metagross, which is something really cool. No Torn, though. You know, Metatorn was really big when it first got introduced in Series 7. Now kind of fell off like really quickly, actually, but Metagross is still a really strong pick in this format, in my opinion, and I think it's cool. Tapu Fini starting it off pretty big. Tapu Fini, I already spoiled myself on a little bit of the usage stats. Tapu Fini was #1 in usage, which is pretty interesting, but it's good. In a very physical heavy format, you know, keeping away those burns, keeping away the sleep from the Sleep Powder, it's good to have. Misty Surge is pretty broken. Leftovers, we've got Calm Mind, Moon Blast, Muddy Water Protect. Pretty standard stuff for Tapu Fini. But going for leftovers instead of a berry, something a lot of players are doing. Incineroar with the Pinch Berry, pretty standard stuff here. Snarl, which is something that really fell more into grace. But going with Parting Shot as well, so, you know, knocking off that powerful Dark Attack for Snarl. This is usually what we see. This is a pretty standard set with the Pinch Berry. I'm sure the spread has a little bit, you know, differentials there. P2 with the Eviolite, Recover, Trick Room, nothing too crazy there. Shadow Ball is kind of interesting. Really trying to hit those Spectriers. You know, Shadow Ball, pretty cool. We got Zapdos, Life Orb, pretty standard stuff we see the Zapdos with. And then we've got Metagross at weakness policy. Ally switch on that, pretty annoying, but pretty good. For sure. No Ice Punch, which is something we see a lot on Metagrosses as well, so it's pretty cool. Lando-T with the Assault Vest, the U-turn, because it's Assault Vest. Pretty standard. Pretty standard stuff overall, but, you know, standard's always good. It gets you a 5th place and 7-0 in Swiss, so it's pretty good. Metagross is actually really interesting. Metagross is, like, not really that standard, actually. We don't see it very frequently. We haven't seen it that much in the tournament. I mean, it's the first one we see so far, and, you know, probably not too many. Anyway, next in 6th place, we got Varun. I suck at names, I'm sorry. 6-1, pretty good, you know, one of the top seeds, I'm sure. You know, top 4 in seeds, probably. Anyway, in 6th place, we've got another Sun team, of course. Cobra Berry on the Venusaur, something we've been seeing a couple of. Makes a lot of sense, though. Sleep Powder is very good. Sleep Powder, the standard set for Venusaur, but going with the Cobra Berry, probably a little bit weird of a spread, if I had to guess. You know, probably a good bit of speed, but a good bit of, probably 250 to modest. So, yeah, stuff for Venusaur. We've got Grimmsnarl at Light Clay as well with the screens to taunt the Spirit Break. Grimmsnarl is insanely played. Very, very good in this format. Torkoal with the Citrus Berry, the Yawn, the Body Press, all this stuff. We got Charizard, G-Max, Assault Vest. Actually interesting. Assault Vest, what's the 4th move? Ancient Power. So went for Ancient Power and Scorching Sand. Something we usually see one of on a team. But with the Assault Vest, gotta go for attacks. We got the Magnet Regirock and the Urshifu. You know, the Dark Urshifu. Really great, you know, ending team there. Great two Pokemon combo. Not very supportive, but we do see the defensive Torkoal and the Grimmsnarl as well. So, you know, it's got its defensive backbone and screens, and the Torkoal, and actually AV Charizard probably puts in a good bit of work, so good stuff. In 7th place, we have Christian with the Dragapult, the Moltres, the Coalossal. Cool stuff, I like it, I love to see it. Let's look at this. So Dragapult, we got Lumberry Dragapult, which is interesting. Something we don't see very frequently, but it does have the Focus Sash on the Urshifu. Not going for the Life Orb attacking set because Life Orb is on the Moltres-Galar. Something we see pretty frequently there too. Dragapult with the Breaking Swipe, the Light Screen. Opting for Light Screen instead of Reflect. This is usually, you know, pretty typical of the Dragapult. Typical of Dragapult, which is cool. Will-O-Wisp, the Surf. Of course, Surf. Coalossal G-Max with the weakness policy protects Solar Beam instead of Earth Power. Is it usually Earth Power? I think it's usually Earth Power. What did yeah, it's usually Earth Power. So we've got the Solar Beam instead, which is pretty cool. Nothing else too crazy, you know. Citrus Berry instead of Pinch Berry on Incineroar. Salt Vest, Rillaboom, Moltres-Galar with the Life Orb. Nasty Plot. Nothing too much else there. And then rounding off our top 8, we've got Yuki here with the Glastrier team. The first Glastrier, actually. Wow. That's cool to see. You know, a lot of people were expecting a lot of, you know, Glastrier, me included. A lot of Glastrier is pretty common for this format, in my opinion. Oops, I gotta scroll up. We got Eviolite, P2, pretty standard stuff, pretty standard Incineroar, Amoonguss with the Oka Berry. Okay, not going for Focus Sash, not going for Koba. Cool, like to see that. Rage Powder, Spore, Sludge Bomb, going Sludge Bomb instead of Haze, or Energy Ball, or, what's that healing move? I don't know. But, yeah, pretty good stuff for Amoonguss. Assault Vest, Glastrier as well, which is something that we don't see very frequently. We usually see, you know, Life Orb, Weakness Policy, something like that. We do see Wakanberry Togekiss, so, you know, pretty offensive, but also has the Follow Me, the Yawn. Dazzling Gleam, Super Luck is still incredibly powerful, but this is taking more of a supportive role, naturally, with the Wakanberry, you know, not going for the Scope Lens, Super Luck. Pretty basic stuff there for the Togekiss, for a defensive Togekiss. But Wakan, we don't see too much Wakanberry, which is cool. Rotom Wash in Citrus Berry, probably a pretty defensive spread, but we also have the Nasty Plot so that we can do some damage with it. Pretty cool stuff. You know, pretty good, you know, speed control in the form of the, this dude with the Trick Room. It's a pretty slow team overall. It definitely wants to set up that Trick Room. All right, nice stuff. That rounds off our top 8. We'll look at the rest naturally, but a little bit less in depth. Just, you know, we're already 15 minutes in. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me talk for 15 minutes on each team. Anyway, in 9th place, we got Francesco with the Garchomp Celesteela. This was something I loved. Garchomp really gets, you know, a lot of chip damage down with the Earthquake, the Rock Slide, Life Orb. Really good stuff. And then you got Celesteela just coming in with Beast Boosting, big attacks. Raichu to support it, and the Raichu to support the Tapu Fini further as well. Grimmsnarl and Incineroar and the Tapu Fini all gives a very, very good supportive backbone to the team. You know, very defensive while also doing, you know, a pretty good amount of damage with Calm Mind, Muddy Waters, and stuff. Probably a Calm Mind set. Yeah, Calm Mind, Muddy Water, Moonblast, pretty standard stuff. Awesome stuff to Francesco. Next, we got Ramses with the Galastria. Actually, okay, so we saw this last tournament, actually, too, which was interesting. So, we've got the Galastria as well as the Clefairy, and not going for the, just, like, setting up Trick Room. More so just going for, like, big attacks with Swords Dance and setting up Swords Dance Galastria. Probably isn't, it might be min speed. I don't know, though, honestly, because it could definitely not be min speed and just focusing on Clefairy. But Clefairy does have, you know, Follow Me, so it does support very well, and Friend Guard obviously supports really well as well. Regirock, Really Boom, all amazing Pokemon in the back. It's Life Orb Spectrier. Yeah, Life Orb Spectrier with the Nasty Plot as well, so, you know, dual horse action, pretty cool. And the Urshifu as well. It's actually the water Urshifu, which is pretty interesting there. In 11th place, we got Simon Sismon. I hate names that I mess up. Oh, I'm sorry. Your name on there is Amy. I'm sorry if I messed up the name. But yeah. Kartana, we got the Lando, something we haven't really been seeing too much of in this format, actually. You know, Incineroar / Lando is on almost every team, so it's pretty interesting, you know, not seeing as much Thundurus, but Thundurus is still a great Pokemon nonetheless. Kartana, Lando, Thundo, an amazingly strong physical attacking package, and of course the Tapu Fini, so you don't get burned as badly. The Incineroar and the Urshifu, Urshifu also, just an incredibly physical attacking team, but it definitely works. You know, 6-1 in Swiss, and then top 16 finish. Very good. In 12th, we have Danielle, or Daniel, I'm sorry. It looks like Danielle because of the E. Anyway, I'm going to stop saying names. Garchomp Celesteela, of course, with the Regirock, the Urshifu, very strong. We see a Weezing here, actually, which is interesting. Neutralizing Gas, of course. We did see a little bit of Neutralizing Gas Weezing, like, during near the earlier parts of the format. So I'm really curious as to how this worked out. I mean, obviously, a 5-2 for a top cut finish is definitely good. Whoops, I'm just smacking my mic around. It's obviously good, so I know it worked out, but I am, you know, interested to see how it worked out, you know, how much this player liked it, but oh well, pretty good. Nonetheless, a really cool team, of course. Like I said, Celesteela, Garchomp is so cool. It's great. It's a great combo. Next, we have Galastria, Clefairy with the Spectrier. Once again, the Rillaboom, the Urshifu, and the Regirock. Great Pokemon in the back. If you just want some offense, you want some good Pokemon that has Fake Out, good Pokemon that can hit crits through anything, hit through Protect. Regirock for some speed control with Electro Web. It's just across the board, just incredible back Pokemon. So if you have, you know, your main thing, which is a horse plus Clefairy, and then whatever Pokemon can deal with it, it's a very solid team comp. Next, in 14th place, we got Will with the Entei. I said it weird. Entei and the Metagross, the Moltres-Galar. What gets the weakness policy? The Metagross does. AV Entei. Grimmsnarl with the Light Clay, of course. Moltres with the Safety Goggles. Rotom with the Nasty Plot, double Nasty Plot. A lot of really cool stuff on this team. That's a really cool team. I love to see Metagross. I love to see Entei. Really cool stuff. In 15th place, we got Benji. That's my boy, Benji Wang. You know, did crazy last year in 2020 with, you know, regionals and stuff. Actually, one of the last regionals, was it the last regional? He, like, destroyed everyone with Durant. It was crazy. Am I getting the wrong? And then he lost in finals to... I might be getting the wrong... getting some stuff mixed up there. But yeah, really cool team. You got the Weezing Regigigas, the first one we've seen so far. Today, I think there was one last week as well, so it always manages to like barely get there, but it really needs a good pilot. to really get there. And you know, Benji's a really good player. This has definitely got there. Anyway, the Regigigas Weezing is really cool. The Urshifu Regieleki is an amazing Pokemon in the back. You know, you have your, you know, your main thing, like your Weezing Regigigas, or your main thing of Torkoal Venusaur, and then you have your really strong duo in the back. So this 6 just works out really, really well. I think I used this exact 6 for a team build in battle in the past, and it worked really well. In 16th place, we got Ethan with the Splatty Daddy VGC. That's my boy. Not actually, I don't know him, but Ethan Matos. Yeah, cool stuff. You got a Regigigas. Why did I say that? You got a Regirock. You got the Zapdos. You got the fake tears Grimmsnarl. Is it screens too? Probably is. Yep. Light Clay with the dual screens, the fake tears, the Spirit Break, not Brick Break. But you have AV, Celesteela, and Safety Goggles Zapdos instead of the Life Orb. Regigigas with the P2. That is a really, really solid team comp, and I really like that team. All in all, very good. In 17th place, we've got Iker. I hope I said that right as well. With the Mudsdale, which is something we don't see very frequently. Mudsdale, Life Orb, 3 attacks and Protect. Alright, cool stuff. I like to see it. P2 with the Trick Room to support the Mudsdale. And a lot of mid-speed Pokemon with the Rotom H, Incineroar, Tapu Fini. And, of course, the Urshifu G-Max to round it all out. The Dark Urshifu, rather. Pretty cool stuff. In 18th place, we have Alessio, which is more names. More names that I know. Cool. We got Entei with the Metagross, with the Moltres. Awesome stuff. The Grimmsnarl, the Rotom Wash, and the P2. That is the same as Will Tansley. So they probably work together. But if not, they just came up with really cool teams at the same time. I like it. Assault Vest, Entei, Metagross with the Weakness Policy, Moltres-Galar with the Safety Goggles. Awesome stuff. Wait, was that a Life Orb Moltres on the last one? No, they are the same. Okay, or at least like those 3 items are the same. Excuse me. In 19th place, we've got Jose with the Nihilego. Is it going to be the Meteor Beam? Please be the Meteor Beam. I love it. Oh yes, it is. Nihilego with the power of the Meteor Beam substitute as well. Really cool stuff. This is my favorite way of playing Nihilego now. I just fell in love with it in Series 7. It's really solid. It's really cool. We also see Clefable with the Babri Berry, Moonblast, Life Dew, Follow Me. Also awesome stuff. Urshifu, Dark Urshifu, AV Thundurus, and Heatran Shikaberry. Love it. Love the team. Love Nihilego. Love seeing Nihilego. We haven't seen that in a while, so it's cool. In 20th place, we've got another Glastrier with the Tapu Koko, the Dusclops. That's probably Weakness Policy. No, it's Assault Vest, and we probably see Haze. No Haze, it's Gravity. Okay, messed up. I was wrong on all of those. Oh well. Glastrier, AV, Choice Scarf, Tapu Koko with the Electro Web. Interesting. We do see Volt Switch as well. Dazzling Gleam, Nature's Madness. Choice Scarf, Tapu Koko is something we haven't seen in a while, since like 2017. But that's really cool to see. 2017, this mimics 2017 a little bit, so that's really cool. In 21, not actually, it doesn't really mimic it at all. Like 2017, we didn't have like, I guess we had beasts. Oh well, I'll scrap that sentence because it was a dumb sentence. In where was I? In 21st place, we have Ian with the Togekiss Dragapult, something we haven't seen in a while, the TED core, but there's no Excadrill, so it's just TD core. Yeah, Rotom Wash, Rillaboom, Stakataka as well. Stakataka is pretty cool. We see the Trick Room one there, probably mid speed. Shukaberry is definitely seems to be the standard for Stakataka. Pretty good stuff. AV on the Rillaboom as well. Life Orb, Dragapult with the Dragon Dance, which is pretty cool. And of course the Wakanberry supportive Togekiss, so we're not seeing the Scope Lens. Super Luck. But we do still see no yawn on here, actually, which is interesting. Speaking of which, I just yawned, so let that be how it was. And was that an Expert Belt? Wait, was that an Expert Belt? Where was I? 21st place? Expert Belt Incineroar. All right, Lash Out. Love to see it. Cool stuff. Cool stuff, Inc. Anyway, where were we? 21. So we're at 22nd. In 22nd, we got another Coalossal team, but this time with a Primarina instead. We do see Tauros on this team as well, and a Gothitelle, Celesteela, Rillaboom. Really interesting team. We see a Wikiberry Primarina with the Aqua Jet and the Perish Song. Really cool. Weakness Policy Coalossal, of course, with 3 attacks, so opting to go for the Earth Power. Coalossal hasn't really used Solar Beam very much in a long time. We do see Surf Tauros as well, which is really interesting. Not too fast, actually. It's a base 100 speed, right? So 167, that'll probably only come in at, you know, pretty odd times, but I like it. Also, we see the leftovers, the Leech Seed, Celesteela, not an offensive Dynamax Celesteela that we see more frequently today. Tauros, right? Really cool to see. Went 5-2 and played top cut finish. Awesome stuff. It's really cool. Got some VR points with the Tauros. That's something you can hold over people's heads. Anyway, next we've got the Coalossal, the Galar Moltres, probably Life Orb. Yeah, Life Orb, Galar Moltres, the Surfing Dragapult with the Will-O-Wisp, the Breaking Swipe, and the Light Screen. Pretty standard Coalossal team overall, you know, with the Moltres as the secondary, you know, attacker. You got the Rillaboom, the Urshifu. Pretty standard stuff, but very good. Next, we got some Psy Spam action going on in 24th place by Christian. Awesome stuff. We see Torkoal, but no Venu. This overall is just a crazy team, crazy looking team. Look at this. So we got Mimikyu with the Trick Room and the Will-O-Wisp and the Babbery Berry. But then we also have our Indeedee with the Focus Sash, Follow Me, and the Expanding Force for the dual Expanding Force with Psy Spam, something we haven't seen in a while. Snorlax with the Belly Drum Self-Destruct, something we haven't seen in a while. And the Torkoal with the Eruption Charcoal, crazy. And the Glastrier, crazy. This team is wild. That's awesome. Psy Spam in 2021, can you believe it? I can. That's awesome. Alright, next we've got in 25th place, another Christian. Not speaking on their religious beliefs, but we have the Tapu Fini, the Thundurus, and of course the Marowak to go off. I don't know why I said of course, because that was the surprising factor of the team. Thick Club. We've got Lightning Rod, but that doesn't really support that much except the Tapu Fini. But still really cool. You know, Light Clay. You know, it's Grimmsnarl, guys. Let's do Grimmsnarl stuff. But really cool team, you know, seeing the Thick Club Marowak is something we don't see very frequently. We haven't seen it in a while, and something I like a lot, and the Thundurus helps that out a lot because Intimidate is pretty rough for that, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't like to be intimidated. And in the last but not least, because this is, you know, top cut, this is their qualifiers. This player also, you know, got some qualification points. We have Pascal in 26th place. We've got a Whimsicott with the Grimmsnarl, pretty cool. Spell Tag here instead of, you know, Life Orb or anything, so that makes sense. Getting those really strong Max Phantasms. We have Mudshot as well, Hyper Beam, and Taunt. Taunt is a really cool last move there. Going for that instead of, you know, Protect, Will-O-Wisp, anything like that. Going Tapu Fini, Life Orb, Tapu Fini. I approve. I like that. I don't need to approve because this player topped, so it didn't even matter if I approved or not. Anyway, Regirock as well with the Choice Specs, really cool, something we haven't seen in a little while. You know, Electro Web on Choice Specs is really incredibly powerful. You know, on a max speed Regirock, which is really incredibly fast. So fast speed control on a fast, strong Pokemon is pretty good. We usually see like Magnet or, you know, the Focus Sash, something like that. But seeing the Choice Specs is pretty cool. We got a Choice Band Urshifu as well. Going for the choices. What's your choice? To go for Choice Specs and Choice Band. I like it. With the Poison Jab as well instead of Iron Head for the last move. We've got the Safety Goggles Rotom H with the Nasty Plot, and of course the Whimsicott with the Fake Tears for the Rotom Eat and for the Spectrier, and even for the Tapu Fini actually, and the Regirock. Look at that. Really cool stuff. Great one physical attacker on the team. Like if you're gonna go for any one physical attacker on that team, it makes a lot of sense for it to be Urshifu because it just hits through everything, right? Pretty cool. That's top cut. This is where I would end the video, but they added usage stats, so we're gonna look at usage stats real quick. So first off, like I said, Tapu Fini did win, had the most usage stats among all players, which is pretty crazy. Grimmsnarl P2, nothing really too surprising there. Regirock, Lando, Rillaboom, nothing too surprising there. But seeing Spectrier on the same as Glastrier and Urshifu Water just goes to show how frequently played Coalossal is, but also how frequently played Water Urshifu is. So that's really interesting, actually. And then Dark being played less than Water, that makes sense because of the, you know, how powerful Coalossal is. But where's Coalossal? Down here at number 10? Crazy. I'm just kidding. No more crazies. Anyway, next we have the, you know, the Torkoal, the Metagross, Celesteela. That makes a lot of sense. You know, a lot of really strong Pokemon there. Venusaur being played a little bit less just because there was that one player that had the Torkoal and no Venusaur. Next we have Kartana, which is pretty cool. Kartana, like Kartana Clefairy seeing so much usage, and Rotom Heat seeing so much usage, and Rotom Wash seeing so much usage is kind of cool. You know, Galarian Moltres makes sense to be there. Togekiss seeing a lot more usage right now, which is really cool, getting some trending up there. Thundurus, Dragapult, Coalossal. Coalossal and Dragapult being on the same usage stat is pretty interesting because a lot of players are using just Urshifu instead, but a lot of players are using Dragapult on its own, so that facilitates them being in this around the same tier. Amoonguss, Duskops, and Didi, and then we're getting into some guys that only a few players played. At this one, let's look at this real quick. We see a Tapu Lele, a Salazzle, a Sableye, a Registeel. Why didn't any of these players top? I wanted to see a crazy Greedent team. Where's a crazy Greedent team when you need one? Right? Where's my Blacephalon team? Come on, where's my Clown Gang at? What are we doing? That's wrong. I'm not a part of no Clown Gang. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you know, come over here and check out VictoryRoadVGC.com. I'll link it down in the description below, of course. You know, big shout out to them for holding these tournaments, hosting the tournaments, and setting up these graphics. It's great. It gives me some content. It lets, you know, players see what's doing good. Wish we had rental codes, but you can't have everything in the world, you know. We can have pretty close to everything in the world, though. Anyway, have a great weekend. Have a great week. It's Monday. Why did I say great weekend? Have a great week and weekend, then. That'll be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It makes a huge difference. It really does. Have a great week. Goodbye.